last time we met, you told me about the voicemail from Oprah. Do you still have that? Is it still
got it
there?
here.
Yeah.
Do you want to hear it?
I would love to hear it. That'd be incredible.
No, you
Yeah,
don't. You don't want to hear it.
I do want to hear it.
I've heard it 10,000 times.
It's still, and for the
That's
record,
his claim to fame.
it's still on my answering machine.
Yeah.
It's still there. Oh, we got good solid Wi-Fi here and everything. Okay, so we'll go here, turn on our speakers, turn up the sound.
You have one old message. Hi, I'm looking for Brian Mosher. My name is Hillary, and I'm calling from the Oprah Winfrey Show in Chicago. I got your name from Charlene Bowen, who I believe you met in Gander when her plane was stranded there. Hope this is the right number. I'm hoping to speak with you at your earliest convenience. Please give me a call back in Chicago. It's Hillary at the Oprah Winfrey Show. Thanks so much.
So, are you ever going to erase that? Never. I don't even know if the phone works because we don't even use the landline anymore, and
Yeah.
it's still there, it's still hooked up and is recorded.
Did you ever actually go on the Oprah Winfrey Show?
No, she actually passed on. She got all the footage, which we made copies of, and shipped it. It was really crazy how it happened because there was a flight combo then, Gander, Toronto, and just a quick flick over to Toronto, Chicago. So same day we had it there. And a week later, I got a call from Peter Jennings with ABC Primetime Live, and he passed off the footage via Oprah to the ABC people, Diane Sawyer and Jay Shadler, and they would come to Gander that November, and they actually hired me as a sound person on the piece that was shot. And it was the first documentary post 9/11 shot in Gander. A lot of the people want to meet you.
Yeah.
And it's still hard to get your head around, but people want to meet you. And they want to either give you a hug or get you to sign something or have their picture taken. We had our pictures taken by the flight attendant getting off the plane,
Yeah.
who gave us a gift.
Yeah.
What was the gift? What did you give me?
It was a bottle of wine each from
Nice.
the airline, and the pilot came. Like pilots don't normally leave the cockpit. He called out to us, and we had to yak with him in through the cockpit door.
Yeah.
She recognized us getting on the plane coming from Gold Coast to here the other day. And there's that genuine connection with you.
It's so funny because I was a medium chubby town cop in Gander. I mean, he was a school teacher.
School teacher who was also the on-air person.
When you get onto a plane and the person looks at you and says, "Are you here for holiday?" No, we're here. We're doing interviews with come from away. And the expression that's on their faces, and you're going, and they want to touch you. They want to talk to you. And you're going, oh, geez, I'm just,
We've been flying
It's
places,
weird.
and like the airport manager, on one occasion he left his office on the second floor because he saw us through the window.
Yeah.
He just wanted to come down and shake our hands,
Yeah.
say good on you.
Yeah.
And in Canada and the U.S., especially since You Are Here came out, people can now put a face to the name.
Yeah.
So
Wow.
they see you and they go,
Oh my
and
God.
like in Ottawa that time,
Yeah.
the parents want pictures taken with their kids, pictures taken with
Yeah.
them,
Yeah,
and
we
sign their tickets or
We were walking down the mall in Toronto, was it?
Ottawa maybe.
And a fellow working in the store come running out.
I'm running out, just want to meet us.
Yeah. Oh
Just
my
wanted to
God!
meet
Oh
us.
my God! Oh my
And
God!
they're excited to see you. Like, and you're
Yeah.
going, okay, hi, how are you?
Yeah.
You know, when we go back home, the car needs to be washed. But I mean, because we are just normal folk,
Yeah.
and we think of ourselves as normal folk, and we're from the town of, well, now 13,000 people, and this is still 5 years, 6 years, however long later, trying to get your head around all this stuff that's happened to you, and it's really kind of weird to get your head around sometimes. The fact that.
I was in a local co-op store the other day, and some woman was walking by, and she had the Come From Away hoodie on. And I said, I take it you've seen the show. She said, yes, I'm wearing this. She said, hopefully that someone that's portrayed will see me, and I'll be able to get to meet them. I said, oh, for sure you'll find someone.
We had a tour group out once, and Self and House and Bueller took them around. We were walking up the steps to the Dover Fault, and it's not a million, it's actually 75.
Yeah,
But
75 steps,
and it
that's
was a young girl, junior high age maybe, and she had bought Jim DeFeet's book at the Aviation Museum the night before, and she was just carrying it with her. And she was looking at her book. I just casually said, "You're from the U.S. somewhere," and I said, "Have you seen the show?" She said, "Oh yeah." I said, "Oh, did you enjoy the show?" She said, "I really enjoyed it." I said, "Oh, do you know you're with 3 of the actual characters right now?" And she went, and it was like, I said, "This is Fudge, the town cop, Brian Mosher, Rogers TV, and that's Beulah Cooper." And she went, "Am I allowed to have my picture taken with you?" And then we signed her book, and like the look on her face, you could have bottled it. It was beautiful.
And people, it is weird. There's no doubt about it.
Mrs. in the theater the other day, we were leaning on the wall because her legs were tired from flying and whatever else. And she said, I don't mean to take a picture of you." And I said, "Well, we were doing the Q&A after, right?" I said, "You're probably going to want to now in a little while." She said, "Oh," she said, "You're actually looking at 2 of the real life characters." And she went, "Get apart! I want my picture taken. Here's my camera." Like,
And this is the one thing a lot of people can't get over. I mean, I'm sitting down having supper, and a phone will ring. I got someone here who wants to meet you. I'll get up and go. He'll do the same. You'll do the same.
Yeah.
We're always doing stuff like that.
And seniors bus tours through the Legion, I've lost count.
Oh,
Seniors bus tours, and they love it. We have trouble sometimes getting away. They just want to ask you questions. They want to meet you.
Yeah.
And what we do, we'll actually go and we'll sit down and eat with them. We'll meet them when they come in. We'll sit down and eat their meal with them. Try to stake ourselves out around the room so they have
well, you
maximum
missed
number of
one
people.
part.
What?
We serve them.
Oh yeah, but now Beulah's gotten our duties. Beulah's, of course, our Legion person. Yeah, we serve. But I was going to say we don't wash dishes, but I think there's times we have.
We come close.
I know we scrape plates, and then after the meal's over, we'll give them their 9/11 talk, and then we'll do a screeching. So it's about you spend your 4 or 5 hours with them, and they love it. Then they want pictures taken. Then they want just to have their 10 seconds with you or whatever, and genuine interest in what you did.
And you had to realize that for the first 4 years that we were doing this, or 3 years, Brian and I, we never charged.
It cost us money.
It cost us money.
But
But we did it because, and I know you can't all expectations of everybody, but we do as much as we can. And I have no problem with it. I try to help out as much as I can.
living in a small town, you do that. It's part of the lifeblood of your town. You do what you can to keep your town alive.
One of the bus tours, a lady got sick, and she ended up in the hospital. And the next morning, she was released. But her bus had left and went to St. John's, and it was 3.5 hours away. And she didn't know what to do. So I pulled up in front of the hotel and said, "Let's go."
And when you get tours that are on the go for 2 weeks, jam-packed agendas, and the tour operator texts you or emails you a couple of days later and said, "These people just told us that this was the highlight of their tour." We never had a meeting or a discussion prior to the start of the shows.
Yeah.
He'd be gone.
It was one of those things of thinking on your feet. When I'm at a crash scene, when I was at a crash scene, you can't plan for that. There's certain things you can, but you just don't know what's going to come at you from the left side. And so that type of was brought into the 9/11. There was nothing written on paper that said, okay, we need one room for first aid room, we need one room for a baby change room, we need one room. No. Someone would be sitting there saying, "Oh, what about the babies? We're going to have to do something for them." "Oh, okay then." And so it was the think on your feet thing.
You were putting spokes in the wheel while the wheel was turning.
That's right.
But it worked.
And I will tell you this, that after this was all over with, Ottawa and Washington, look, how did they do that?
So they came to discover, because really there was no plan. You can't plan. I mean, you'd be planning for the absurd, but it happened.
It's typical of government things. It's typical of government. The town ordered some cots because, you had there's 7,000 people. 5,000 cots arrived 2 days after the last plane left.
Wow.
So I guess they took them back. But yeah,
that was how it was done. I am still in awe of it. I'll tell you that right now. To walk into a school and see the teachers, see Brian and them, and what they were doing, If a person was sitting down, and they didn't want a person to sit there and start thinking, because that's the worst thing you can do. Next thing you know, someone's slitting in alongside them. Now, how's it going? What do you need? What do you want? Have you seen this? You want to go here? You want to do this? And that's how it was done. And it was just, for me, it was an amazing thing to watch.
See, at any given moment, they were leaving. I mean, I assume when I went in to do that first show, I'd do one show, get them updated, by lunchtime they'd be gone. I wasn't even sure the first night they'd be gone the next morning. And none of us knew it was 5 days.
No.
No. If I had sat down Tuesday morning and go, okay, I'm going to get to bed this coming Saturday night, there's going to be nothing in between, no, you couldn't have done it. But if you never see much further than the light in the path ahead of you, you just keep going. And the passengers thought the same thing too, and the weather was nice. There was a lot of variables at play that made the week flow as well as it did, but the big thing was everybody hauled in one direction.
Yeah, and one of the things that we always say, when they first arrived, they were strangers. By midweek, they were friends, and by the end of the week, they were family.
Yeah, and if everybody does a whole lot of little, and everybody hauls in one direction, it's a massive force.
It's so funny. Well, not funny, but you know what I mean. Is that when they arrived, they were crying because of what was happening. And when they were leaving, they were crying because of what was happening. They didn't want to leave. There was a lot that said, I really don't want to go. I'd sooner stay here.
Yeah.
But if that had lasted 10 days, they would have continued on for 10 days. It wasn't, they were tired. Everybody was tired. No doubt about it. Drained.
Yeah.
But we would have kept on until it was open. The airspace was open. There was no two ways about that.
Yeah.
People just did what they had to do and got her done.
Yeah.
And again, the saying, let's get her done.
Yeah.
And that's what it is. And I'll tell you right now, people of Australia, go to the show.
You need to go.
You need to go.
Because
Don't sit there and watch news and be depressed.
get out.
Everything
and
that's
this will
going on.
reaffirm that there's light at the end of the
There is
tunnel.
light at the end of the tunnel.
And in the worst of times, there's an awful lot of good coming to
And
surface.
when you get phone calls from people saying the show changed my life, the show showed me that love is the answer.
2 Saturdays ago, I got a call from a random stranger in Gatineau, Quebec, who found my number in the book. He's a military retiree going through PTSD, and he said, I don't want anything from you. I just want to let you know that in my darkest times, you got me through. I talked to him for 15 minutes, said God bless at the end, and he thanked me. He was looking for where he could see You Are Here again. I told him he went and watched it again. So you don't realize what you're doing, but sometimes you're doing more than you think. So, there you go.